It's your girl, Claudia Jordan. Good evening. Now, we're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in social media and in the news. Now, sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al? You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Right. Sorry. Look, and the producer just told me to turn it off. What's going on, Claudia?
How are you?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Glad you made it here. And our special guest co-host for the week, media personality and host of the Armand Wiggins Show, Armand Wiggins. What's up, Armand?
What's going on, Claudia? What's going on, soulmates? What's going on, Al? I'm super happy to be here. A little nervous, but we're here. Okay.
Why would you be nervous with us?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Everything that can happen will happen right before a moment. And let me tell you something. I was running around this studio like a madman because the sound was cutting out, the camera was cutting out, the lighting was cutting out. It was a mess. But we are here, and I'm ready to get into the hot tea. Okay.
You know what? And Al and I have definitely been through this a lot because we like a lot of times we're on the road. I'm actually on the road too, and I think Al is as well. A lot of times when those things happen, you stop panicking, and those end up low key being the best shows. When there's a lot of stuff in the beginning, it usually pans out.
All right.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Are y'all drinking tonight, Allie? What you drinking on tonight?
No, I'm drinking Gatorade tonight, Claudia. I got a lot going on. You know, I'm down in the DMV area. I'm here to teach, but I just experienced death in my family. So trying to figure it all out. And I figure it's best to do it without the alcohol. Plus, I just came off of Grammy week. So I was in Los Angeles for the Grammys, and all we did every day was socialize, eat, and drink. So I probably need to detox this week.
Well, Al, I just want to say I'm really sorry for your loss. I don't know who it is in your family, but I'm really sorry for your loss. So just thank you. We're glad you made it here, and our condolences. And if you need a moment at any point, just let me know, and we got you covered because that's what we do here. Okay.
Thank you.
We got you. Armand, are you drinking tonight or are you sober?
For me, first of all, I want to say, shout out to you, Al, for that. I mean, it's really tough experiencing loss and then coming to work. So salute to you on that, because, I would be a train wreck. However, I'm not drinking either. I am 30 days into my 60-day cleanse. I have the February left, and on March 1st, I'll be having a cocktail. Okay, so as of right now, it's just some good water, some juice, ginger, but I do ginger beer. Okay, so ginger beer gives me like the little edge. It makes me feel like I'm drinking when I drink a little ginger beer. But as of right now, I'm sober.
Well, that sucks for you. I'm a drink, but you ain't drinking. While I'm working on a new project, I can't say what it is, but it does involve alcohol. Okay, Armand, before we start the show, you're new to our show, so give our soulmates a rundown on your career journey.
Yes. Okay, great. So I love to talk about myself. No, I'm just kidding. But honestly, no. I started off as a YouTuber. I love YouTube. I've been doing it for 5 years now, full time. And I've been able to, amass some pretty good success here on the platform. Some of you guys may know me from HBO doing the documentary Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion, 5 Shots. My content was featured there. I've been featured on VH1, Entertainment Tonight, the Daily Mail. So I've had a couple of publications from my commentary, interviews, and documentaries throughout the entertainment business. So I'm really excited to be here with you all because, it's Claudia Jordan, it's Al Reynolds, and now it's Armand Wiggins on Fox Soul. So for me, this is like a dream come true because it shows people that if you put in the hard work and the dedication, being an independent artist, because I do believe I'm an independent media personality, which is an independent artist in my opinion. If you put in the work, people will, the universe will reward you for it. So I'm glad that I'm here and able to share this space with you all. So shout out to you guys, and I can't wait to get into some things.
Well, without further ado, let's get into some things, okay? The 66th Grammy Awards took place last night, and some of your favorite artists took home the gold. Congratulations to Killer Mike for winning Best Rap Album. Victoria Monet took home the Grammy for Best R&B Album and Best New Artist. Okay. Hello.
I'm here. I was like, who? She was glitched. I didn't know who that was. I was like, is that me?
Okay, Coco Jones won the Grammy for Best R&B Performance, and SZA won the Grammy for Best R&B Song for her song Snooze. Did you guys enjoy the Grammys, and what were your thoughts? Al, let's go to you first.
Listen, the Grammys was pretty epic to me because there were so many underlying messages that I really got into. One was it was a huge night for Black female artists, like you said, SZA, Coco, Victoria. They all swept. A lot of other Black females did just the same, winning Grammys. And the other message that I got from the Grammys this year, especially with Killer Mike, is you're never too old to win in the game. We know that he hadn't won a Grammy for 20 years after winning the Grammy with Outkast, and then he does a sweep. And when I say a sweep, I mean a huge sweep. He was like best rap album, best rap performance, best rap song. And guess what? He's 48 or 49 years old. So I enjoyed those undercurrents that I saw happening at the Grammys, even though there was a little bit of controversy when we're going to talk about it here on TJF about Jay-Z's speech.
All right. Armand, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Listen, I'll be honest. I mean, I like the Grammys, but the Grammys was a mess to me, to be honest with you, because I feel like while there was so many Black people being celebrated, why were they all being celebrated for the majority of the part of the show during the pre-show? I feel like we didn't see a lot of those moments with our Black talent being celebrated during the main show. So for me, while the people were rewarded, we didn't get to see it on the main stage. Also, in regards to Killer Mike, I thought the Grammys did something very, very nasty by awarding Nicki Minaj as the winner for Best Rap Song and then going ahead and changing it at the last minute and giving it to Killer Mike after it had been updated on all of their social media platforms. The Grammys then went out and put out a statement about, Nicki Minaj was the winner, her and Ice Spice, all for Killer Mike to come back and be the winner. So while it was a good night, the Grammys was a mess in true form, okay? And, Jay-Z got up there drinking liquor out of his Grammys after he, threw Beyonce under the bus. But, all in all, I did live for Fantasia. But I will say we need to stop overworking Stevie Wonder. My guy Stevie Wonder went up there and sounded a mess. But I digress. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Whoever operated the Grammys Twitter page being very messy. And the fact that they had awarded, they made an announcement about Nick fell back. I thought that was really ghetto. And it seemed like it was a scam. Freezing? Oh my God. I guess I froze. What I said
Claudia,
was,
you in that Boost Mobile internet. Come on,
I guess
woman.
I am. Okay, let me say it real quick. I thought the Grammys, whoever operated the Grammys Twitter page was extremely messy. I don't know if they was trying to do a moment and get some controversy, but that was extremely ghetto to say Nicki Minaj won and then Killer Mike had the Grammy. Because now there's always forever going to be an asterisk next to that Grammy for Killer Mike and for Nicki Minaj. I think that was really wrong. No matter who you're a fan of, that shit was really raggedy and very messy. All right, moving on. Jay-Z received the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award and gave a powerful yet shady acceptance speech surrounding the politics of the show. Jay-Z said this, referring to his wife, Beyonce. I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. And he added, so even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Some of you are going to go home tonight and feel like you've been robbed. Some of you may get robbed. And some of you don't belong in the category. When I get nervous, I tell the truth. Were you guys here for Jay-Z's speech? Armand, we're going to you first on this one.
I definitely was here for Jay-Z's speech. Okay, so I'm here for him standing by his wife. I'm here for him having that power and that platform and not being afraid to speak, to power, because so many people think that, Jay-Z has a hand in, manipulating charts and, awards and the Grammys because of how powerful he is. So I'm glad that he went and spoke to power. Now, some people will say, Beyonce, you got 32 Grammy awards, why are you begging for more awards? And I feel like, you know what? I don't care if I have 100. I want 101. I'm going against my peers. All the people in the room are successful. There's multi-Grammy winners in that place. So we're not talking about people like you and I that maybe, we just dream to be invited to the Grammys or dream to be, nominated. No, we're talking about people that this is their livelihoods. They put out a lot of work and dedication to this, and they should be rewarded as such. I don't give a darn if she's won 32 Grammys. If she's owed 33, give her that award. So I don't feel as though that there was anything wrong with him saying that. However, on the flip side, the fact that he did do that, he did discount anybody who would have won Album of the Year that night. So I think the only person that could have won and walked away with their head held high and their dignity is Taylor Swift. Had that been Janelle Monáe or Victoria Monet, she probably would have been leaving like, well, Jay-Z really doesn't think I deserve it. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift can be like, who gives a darn what Jay-Z's got to say? I'm Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? And move on. And she's used to people coming in and telling her that Beyonce should have had the moment over her. So I don't know. I'm on both sides of it. I agree, but I can also see how it can make other artists feel some type of way.
They're gonna feel some kind of way, but what about Beyonce feeling some kind of way? All those Grammys, and I don't have an Album of the Year, but you thought it's okay to give it to Taylor Swift 4 years to get it 4 times. Al, what do you think?
I didn't like it. I got to be honest with you. There's a part of his speech that I like. Anytime you touch on the politics of racism or discrimination or misrepresentation, which is the case here, because we know that the Recording Academy has over 15,000 members. However, the newer members, which are only 3,000, is where you're going to find a cluster of more women and Black people. And those new 3,000 don't have voting rights. So what happens in that case is you're going to continue to see the same people win over and over. Now, this is the rub for me. I just felt like this was an evening for the Black female artists, for the other artists, and for you to trump this win. Can you imagine? It took Victoria forever to win this Grammy. She's been in the game for 10 years. People like SZA and Coco, this is a big night for them. And for you to kind of brush that off or to trump it with your politics just kind of felt awkward for me. However, I do see why he thought it was necessary. But in his necessary speech, it would have been great for him to talk into what needs to change. And don't make it all about your wife. Make it about the change with the Recording Academy so that we see that hip hop, the most influential genre in the music on the planet, is respected more. Now, I'm a real huge person on protest. So if he really wanted to make a statement, he and Beyonce possibly or shouldn't have shown up. That would have been speaking more into the space of what he's trying to change than speaking into the space and ruining other people's nights.
I see you laughing, Armand. What do you think?
I disagree. Because I feel like if you're getting a prestigious award like that, that is when you say something. Like sometimes we get to these places where we don't show up, but many times, okay, we don't show up, but you still end up watching it anyway. No, you get up there and you say what you got to say because you get one chance and one shot and you make that moment. And listen, to be honest, if I'm Jay-Z, I don't care about Victoria Monet. I don't care about any of those. I care about my family, my wife. She was snubbed. I'm talking about it. It is what it is. I'm sorry. You guys are great. Win your awards. But it's not about you. I'm taking this moment that they've made about me, and I'm going to let them know that my wife deserves this Album of the Year award. She's been busting her ass, and she deserves it. Stop giving it to the same people over and over again. And I stand behind them 100%.
Yeah, that's the best thing about this show. We can agree to disagree. I think when you win an Icon Award like that and you're making a statement, the statement should be about the issue and not about just an issue relating to your wife. Between the two of them, they've won 56 or maybe more than that, maybe 62 Grammys. So, take that time to speak into the problem that exists across the board and not just the problem that you and your wife are having.
But the good thing is,
go ahead.
The good thing is he didn't say a name, so it could be looked at as he was making a general conversation about a general statement about the issues. Definitely said that.
But really quick, it just kind of feels like that people. I understand what Al is saying is like the general problem, but I don't feel like that's really people's issue. I feel like people's issue is they feel like Beyonce has already enough awards, so why is she complaining? You know what I mean? I feel like that's really the root of people's problem, and they feel like, why is she complaining? She's already rich. She's already famous. She's won all these awards. And who cares? And even if Victoria Monet or any of these other girls they worked 15 years to get this one award. Oh, well, I'm deserving of this award. You'll get yours when you get it. It is what it is. I don't know.
You know what? It's so funny how you see two things in different ways, right? Because for me, the last Album of the Year Grammy that went to a Black person was Lauryn Hill for females and Outkast for males, right? That was over 20 years ago. So I think the issue is how can we go 20 years without an African-American artist, male or female, not winning Album of the Year? So that's kind of where I'm landing with it. But I guess it's important to understand both sides of the coin.
I'm feeling a little bit of racism with Black girl, you got enough. Aren't you happy? Almost when Obama was president, it was like, you got your president. Stop complaining. Racism's over. No, if she's still bomb and still putting out the hits, she should. Renaissance is no way she should have got album of the year. I'm glad he said something. If not Jay-Z, then who? All right, coming up next, Kandi Burruss' big announcement at the Grammys, and later find out what Patrick Mahomes' father was arrested, why he was arrested just 8 days before the Super Bowl. Oh, look, he looked like he with the shits too, don't he? We'll be right back.
Scene 103, take one.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
Can I hug you?
Yeah. If it made you feel that way, bro, I'll probably do. I love you. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to TGIF. Let's get into this story. Kandi Burruss revealed on the Grammys red carpet that she's going to take a break from the Real Housewives of Atlanta after appearing on the franchise since 2009. She says, I decided I'm not coming back this year. It's been 14 seasons, and they allowed us to sit around for a little too long. She's tired of waiting for them to come back and book her. She got things to do. And she added, during that time, I had started working on a lot of other things. Are you surprised? And who do you think should replace her, Al?
Oh, good question. I think it's time for Kandi to take a break. I don't think it's over for her, to be honest. I think she's probably going to take some time off. We saw that Kenya took time off. Portia took time off, and of course, Nene took time off. So I think this could be good for her. We know Kandi is always chasing a bag, always working, always got a new project in the hopper, and she probably just couldn't put up with the delay in the scheduling and versus her getting to other bags that she's got going on. That's how I interpret it, because she is like a staple, right? She's been there since the very beginning. So we look at Kandi as one of the franchise people.
She got other bookings she needs to confirm, and she wants her, her deposit. They taking too long. I am not mad at her. What do you think?
Right.
I think this is the best news I heard all night. Get rid of Kandi. Hey, yes. I cannot stand Kandi. I'm sorry.
Why?
I am so ready. I cannot stand Kandi.
Why do you not? Why do you have a problem with Kandi?
Kandi can't sing.
Yes,
Candy cannot sing. Kandi cannot sing. We have to stop doing this. Kandi cannot sing. Kandi cannot sing. Kandi cannot sing. Kandi want everybody's job. Kandi want all the money. And Kandi holds too many grudges. Kandi feels some type of way too much, and she doesn't allow room for growth. You say one thing to Kandi, she mad at you for 20, 30 years. You're stopping bags while trying to take the bags. Move around. Because you can't even get into it with Kandi, or she's mad and holding a grudge for the next 10 seasons. So I think Kandi needs to go because this is the entertainment business. We might get into it, we may not get along, but we have a job to do. And you can't take everything so personal. Kandi takes everything so personal, and she's not that entertaining. She's not that interesting, and she's not that polarizing. So I say good riddance, Kandi, and bring anybody else in. I don't care. Phaedra, Nene. I'm not even the biggest Kenya fan, but I can take Kenya and Portia, over anything Kandi. I'm over it. I'm so glad Kandi is gone. I was doing backflips when I found out that Kandi was not coming back. Every year we have this conversation about the Housewives and the Housewives of Atlanta and who should come back. I'm like, just get rid of Kandi. Get rid of Kandi. Bring Marlo back. I don't know. Just get rid of Kandi and leave her gone. That's how I think. And so I'm so happy she's gone.
You want Marlo over Kandi?
I cannot stand
Marlo over
Kandi.
Candy's a housewife.
Yes.
I like
Marlo
Kandi.
is entertaining. Marlo is going to bring you the... Kandi is going to cry. Kandi is going to be upset. Candy's going to hold a grudge. Candy's going to get in her feelings. You got to walk on eggshells with Kandi. Who wants to sit around and walk on eggshells and feel some type of way all the time? You can't even sneeze next to Kandi without her getting offended. I'm over it.
Ooh.
Get rid of Kandi.
Well, honestly, she's the only one that's really married and a millionaire. So there's that.
Reba Dirty, Kandi.
All right, moving on. After 2 years of facing health issues, Wendy Williams is now back on the screen in an emotional documentary released by Lifetime called Where is Wendy Williams? The trailer kicks off with Wendy stating that she is pretty much broke, while warning viewers that it could happen to them as well. But the most heartbreaking soundbite was from her son, Kevin Hunter Jr., who said, "My mom always talks about how she wants to work, but I think she's worked enough. She has people around her who are yes people that have allowed this to continue." What are your thoughts on this documentary? And do you think Wendy should be seen in her current mental state? Armand?
Absolutely. First of all, anybody that knows me or watches me knows that Wendy Williams is my #1 favorite all-time celebrity. So just to see her in any capacity, I'm excited as a fan. Now, as a viewer, it's hard to watch one of your faves, really go through such a hard time because I feel like there's times where I'm rooting for Wendy and I'm like, she's going to come back. She's going to do a podcast. She's going to do a show. But in the back of my mind, I know the Wendy Williams days and the era of Wendy Williams is over. But there's always that glimpse of hope. I believe anybody that does a commentary type role, you have looked up to Wendy Williams in some capacity at some point. Also, with that, though, it makes me realize something that there is a price that comes with that type of seat, commenting on other people's lives and, spilling the tea. So you really have to make sure that when you're doing it with some level of integrity, because inevitably you do get the energy that you put out and we all pay for it in some way or another. So I watch Wendy Williams and I say, okay, how do I, find a happy medium in, the work that I do? Because, I do it for entertainment, but I also don't want to end up like her. But I do think that it's great for her, to show us this side of her, the vulnerability. And, she probably needs to check. I see people say that Wendy Williams, she shouldn't be doing this. She should stay private. And my thing is this, God forbid she dies next week and then everyone else is telling her story. I'd rather tell my story while I'm here alive versus Charlemagne or my son or Kevin, Sharina, this assistant, that assistant, telling my story for me. I'm here. I've been drinking, put my bottle down. I may got a little memory loss, but damn it, I'm the greatest. And I stand with Wendy.
Okay.
Absolutely.
even though I've been the butt of her jokes for over 20 years on her show, I gotta be honest, I was really excited about seeing her back on television. But in this form and fashion, I didn't like it. It didn't feel comfortable to me. It felt exploitative. It felt thirsty. It felt desperate. And it's given, I am really broke tease. But this is the funny thing. What's that saying? You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. That's what this is giving me right here. And I would rather just hold her in a different regard. Like these types of moments, even if you need the money, I think you can hold it back from the public because a lot of us just don't want to see her in this light. To me, this negative light, and I can hold my comments for later because I haven't seen the whole thing, but the clips that we saw were so negative that it makes me feel sorry. It doesn't make me want to to support any type of comeback story because I don't feel like she's healthy enough to come back. So that's where my head is with that. But I do see why she chose Lifetime, because remember, she did a docuseries there. She produced that Aaliyah show there. So I can assume that they not only paid her well, but she also felt comfortable there knowing that this was a project that she needed in order to get some money. But overall for me, it felt very uncomfortable. And I feel like the 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19 Wendy Williams that we know would never let anybody do a project like this on her.
You know, I'm going to go real quick because I know I'm having some issues here. I just find it really funny that any one of us on this panel can say anything about what you reap, what you sow, when we all talk way more shit about people in our current platforms. Armand, you laughing because you know you guilty. Al, you know you guilty. I'm going to say, I know I'm guilty. We all talk shit. And people in the comments are even worse than Wendy Williams could ever be. So I don't think this is a karma thing. Okay. Al, can you read some of our comments?
Sure. Oh, you want me to read some comments? All right, let's see what we
Al,
got
any of our viewer comments?
I can't hear you, babe. I can't hear you, Claudia, but let's see what some of the comments
read some comments.
Karen D said, Wendy's decline in health indicates she needs palliative care. Ty Time said, Wendy needs to make her comeback so Tasha K can be put in her place. No, wait. Wendy needs to make her comeback so Tasha K can be put in her place. Okay. Antoinette Johnson said, no, Wendy is done mentally. Sorry. Sis checked out in 2020. I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Well, we're going to go.
Well, hold on, Claudia, before you go to commercial. All right, soulmates, I see y'all are just giving me a hard time about my hairline. This is not missing hair right here or on this side. This is my hair is graying. And if I don't dye my hair, then it's going to look like this. So it's hair there. It's not missing hair. I know how to go to a barber. It's just that it's graying. And if I don't color it, it's going to look like it's missing on TV.
Wow, don't feel bad.
Okay, hairline, take us to commercial break.
All right, guys, coming up next, Patrick Mahomes' father is facing up to 10 years in prison. And later, find out which R&B star is denouncing his heritage. Stay tuned. How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling this tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any left?
How about the big bottles, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-host this early in the show. Not saying we won't. It's just going to be this early.
On Fox Soul.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
All right, soulmates, welcome back to TGIF. All right. So, sometimes life doesn't happen bi-weekly. So why should payday? The money you earn can be in your hands today with EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $100 per day and up to $750 per pay period. Just download the EarnIn app and verify your paycheck. Then access up to $100 a day as you work and leave an optional tip. Any money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. All right, Armand, did you ever do like the payday advances or anything like that? You don't look like it. It looks like you've always had money, brother. But have you ever had that experience?
Actually, I used to do payday advances. Well, no, not payday advances. You know what? I was about to tell a lie right there, Al. You know what? No, I'm gonna just say no.
All right. So EarnIn is great for individuals that have unexpected bills. Like I was saying last week, if your car breaks down, or if you have an unexpected vet bill, or if you have a wedding gift that you have to get and the money's just not there yet, you can use EarnIn. And I recommend that you make EarnIn a part of your financial routine and join EarnIn's over 3.5 million customers who say things like, when I think about EarnIn, I think about financial stability, security. It gives me a lot of peace of mind. So go download EarnIn today, spelled EARNIN, in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in T under podcasts when you sign up, and it'll really help the show. That's T under podcasts. Subject to your available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period max, each earnin.com/TOS for details. I'm sorry, see earnin.com/TOS for details. EarnIn is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust member FDIC. So did we get Claudia back, Claudia?
We are back, and I apologize. Promotional consideration furnished by EarnIn. Let's get back to some hot topics. All right, y'all. It's the week of the Super Bowl in Kansas City. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes may be feeling less celebratory after his father was recently arrested on DWI charges. Patrick's father was arrested in Texas yesterday for driving while intoxicated for the third time or more. According to TMZ, Patrick's father will still be able to travel for the Super Bowl despite his recent arrest. What are your thoughts on this sad news? And do you think Patrick should create boundaries with his family? Because the most famous one always gets the shade from the one that's messing up in the family. Armand, what you think?
Listen, I'm not a big football fan or sports fan, but from this, I'll just say, it's very clear. At some point, I'm all for family, but I'm also for distancing myself from my family because you become a burden. So at this point, if I was him, Dad, you clearly don't care about me because this is not your first time. This is not your second time. This is like your third or fourth time. So at some point, I think it's okay for him to just say, you know what? Bygones, let bygones be bygones. You stay over there. I can't help you. And I will move on. Drop him.
Armand, my comments are the same. And I talked about this when we found out that his brother was charged with assault or some type of sexual aggression or offense of some sorts. And it's funny because this man, Patrick, has a $450 million contract over the course of 10 years. And over the course of the next 4 years is $210 million. And that name is important. And it's a brand, and it's a franchise brand. So when his brother gets in trouble, when his dad gets in trouble and they're in the headlines, it's really soiling his name as a franchise name, and they need to work on it. So I'm not the type of person that I'm going to throw my family away like that. But what I am the type of person who would do after the Super Bowl, after he wins the Super Bowl again, he needs to take him and his father, and they need to go away. And they need to have a heart-to-heart discussion about how their antics could possibly affect their ability for him and his family to transfer generational wealth in that Mahomes family.
Nellie Collins says he looks like a drinker. Rianne said he possibly needs help. Here's the problem. When you're the famous one, the headline's never going to say the person's name. It's going to be such father, such as brother. And that sucks for Patrick, who needs to be totally focusing on this Super Bowl, especially as a black quarterback. You already get a lot of smoke. I don't care if you have black quarterback, black, 110 black. You already have a lot of eyeballs on you looking for criticism. So you cannot afford to have anybody messing up when you're about to be on the cusp of greatness of this big event. All right, before we take a break, let's check out this Black History Moment sponsored by Nissan.
Fox Soul celebrates Black history makers who have broken barriers and created change. Miss Black America is the first pageant in the United States to set the stage and open the door for women of color. Before Miss Black America forged its own path, there was the Miss America beauty pageant. It was restricted to white women only. In 1967, J. Morris Anderson, a black businessman, was inspired by his daughters to create Miss Black America. In 1968, the first Miss Black America pageant was held in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in protest to the Miss America pageant. 19-year-old Sandra Williams was crowned the first Miss Black America, setting a new standard of beauty in the USA.
We are here to be a complementary force to help further the black movement.
The success of Miss Black America broke down the color barriers and opened the doors for change. In 1970, the Miss America pageant accepted its first black contestant, Cheryl Brown. Today, the Miss Black America pageant is celebrating 55 years of black beauty. Every year, there is a glamorous and dazzling pageant that continues to showcase and inspire black women.
Honoring Black History Month on TGIF, proudly presented by Nissan. Experience a whole new thrill of driving.
All right, before we go to break, brief comments on this. What are your thoughts on this historic pageant, Al?
Oh, I love it. 55 years of celebrating black female excellence and black excellence as well is always going to be a thumbs up for me.
Armand?
A complete thumbs up for me. They got it right. I'm here for it all day long, so I'm here for it. Shout out to Black History Month. Shout out to Nissan.
The reason we had to have a Miss Black America pageant is because they wouldn't let us in. And now that we're in, we are winning Miss Black America and Miss America and Miss USA. So salute to all the black queens doing their thing. Coming up next, find out which R&B singer is denouncing his blackness, not on Black History Month. And later we are playing the Grammy edition of Hit or Miss. Stay tuned.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling this tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any left?
How about the big bottles, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-hosts this early in the show. Not saying we won't. It's just going to be this early.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, "I want him. He's got to come home with me." Now I'm anything but lonely. Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
Welcome back to TGIF. It's officially Black History Month, and it seems like Tyrese is trying to denounce his Black heritage. The singer wrote, "Sometimes I wish I was born Latino. I mean, the Latino community is grounded in family, loyalty, entrepreneurs, businessmen and women, literally represent the dream, the grind, the hustle, doing whatever it takes to stick together against all odds. And he added, if us as Black culture was more grounded in the integral, magical nuances of us, we would be dominant. Tyrese, please don't make us have to read you again. It's Black History Month, brother. What are your thoughts on his remarks? I'm going to go to our guest host tonight, Armand, because I want to hear what you have to say, because me and Al, we done talked about this man before. What do you think about this, Armand?
I personally feel like I understand where he's coming from. Like, I'm not mad at Tyrese for feeling that way, because what I took from that was, you know, the Hispanic community, they stick together. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like they do, especially living here in California. And this is, I'm not trying to be funny, but you know, the tia, hermano, abuela, tu tias, they all live in one house. The son goes to work. The girlfriend lives there. They take care of the kids. They all pile up in one car. They all take care of each other. I see that happening every day here. Black people, you got to go. You can't stay here no more. I need your check. I need this. I need that. Well, there's no support system. The Hispanic community, they really believe in community. So I just feel like, you know, Tyrese saw that and kind of felt like, damn, I wish my Black people would believe in community a little bit more like the Hispanics, you know, bond together. That's how I feel about it.
Armand, I'm going to welcome you to the show, son. But let me tell you something. He's right, letting people do stick together. But you're not on my good internet, not during Black History Month, not until the end of February. Are you going to decide to speak on Latinos and how unified they are until it's Black History Month? I just can't think that he is not calculated in doing this during Black History Month. It's just not right, and it's degrading. I mean, it may be true, but still not during Black History Month, Tyrese. And I'm really sick and tired of talking about him and his antics and how he feels and what he thinks. Can you please go back to the studio or go back to a film set or anything? Can we just see some of your work? I don't want to hear about your antics, and I honestly don't want to hear about how you feel about the Latino community versus the Black community during Black History Month. So for me, this is a no. And for me, I'm not going to talk about Tyrese anymore this month during Black History Month. That is my blackout.
I'm going to say this real quick because I know my internet is tripping. Tyrese, you're a little uneducated in this regard, okay? Latinos are not a monolith. There are Latinos that think they're white, that vote against their best interests all the time, that are big, huge Trump supporters. There are Latinos that vote with Democrats and with Black people. They are not a monolith. So you are aspiring to be a group that ain't even all together either themselves. And might I add, they do not have the same history as Black people. Were Latinos kidnapped and brought to America, or did they come here voluntarily? They walked their asses over from Mexico, or they got on a boat from Spain. They did not get forced over here. It is different. They did. They migrated here. I'm just saying, that's no shade. And as Armand says, no tea to them. But I'm just saying, it's a whole different background and history. Black people were kidnapped, brought here, Jim Crow laws, set rules, set up to keep us divided. So we have a little bit more to fight up against. Now, do I think his intention was correct? Yes. We could use a lot more unity in our community. But when you're as influential, well, as followed as Tyrese, people are going to like listen to you, and they're going to look for a reason to clown you, Tyrese, because you've made a lot of missteps. First of all, you call your light-skinned wife your Nubian queen. Then when that was over, you over here with this one, then that one, you're crying on the internet, boogers come out your nose, you're doing too much. So I just wish you would just be a little bit more focused when you make these messages. Maybe a little Adderall prescription may help you out here. Be focused on what the hell your message is. Because right now, I get it, but you need some help. Media training. I don't know. We got some comments, Al, you want to read? Because, you know, please.
Okay, so KC said he cried about his color, paying child support, and his girlfriend. Oh, I can't say that word. And if his girlfriend leave, he going to be crying again. STFU for once. All right. Anita Carter Foley says Tyrese can take his unstable behind over to another race. I was going to buy concert tickets because he will be here in Seattle, I think, but I won't I don't want to see him now. And let's do one more. Who that PYT said, so you hope to leave the community instead of being the change you want to see. Weird.
Yeah, it's that part. Like, does he have some valid points that we could be? Listen, we could stand to use a lot more unity in our community. He's right about that. I think it's the way he packaged it up. Just like his messaging is always a little bit off.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, again, like it's like when someone dates a white woman, you don't got to diss black women to date your white woman. Just, you know, love what you like what you like, but you don't got to diss us in the process. Like, we know we got work to do, but don't be putting our personal business out on the streets, Tyrese.
But I feel like white people don't want to hear the truth. Like, the truth hurts, and black people just don't want to hear the truth. I just feel like
I'll be damned if I get my truth from I'll be damned if I get my truth from Tyrese, Armand. Now, if you want to get your truth from Tyrese, you are perfectly welcome.
They're definitely not doing Black History Month.
We can talk to him March 1st.
Right.
Okay. According to Variety, Yolanda Saldivar, the woman who tragically killed the late superstar Selena, who I cannot stand this, is speaking out in a new limited docuseries called Selena and Yolanda, The Secrets Between Them. Yolanda planned to tell her side of what transpired leading up to Selena's death while also revealing the late singer's secrets. What are your thoughts? Can I go first real quick?
Yeah.
Bitch, you already killed Selena, president of her fan club, stole money, lied, and killed someone who was going to be a huge star, that was a huge star. You going to tell the dead woman's secrets that you murdered? We are not here for you, dusty ass Yolanda. You are hater number one, and I really wish nothing but the worst for you because you're a whack ass bitch. Armand?
I agree wholeheartedly. I think this is stupid. I think, why are we even giving this woman a platform? And it doesn't matter what secret, how you try to spin it, what you have to say. There's no justification in killing this woman. You were jealous, you know. But I think that there was a lesson learned here. You know, unfortunately, Selena, you know, was a casualty. But, you know, without this happening, I feel like growing up, to me, I always was told, like, you don't want a Yolanda. You don't want to have those people close to you that will kill you. You see what happened to Selena. So watch your circle. Watch your circle. She's been an example in my life forever. Everyone uses her as a reference of people not to have in your life. So, you know, it is what it is. But I think I'll be watching, though. We're all going to watch, though. That's the thing. I'm going to watch, but this is ridiculously trash. But I'll definitely be seated.
Yolanda, you're an ugly bitch, and I don't want to hear you spilling the tea on beautiful Selena that you murdered and took from us. Al, what do you think? Is she ugly bitch?
She does look pretty, you know, ratchet now after being in prison for 30 years. But Claudia, the streets are saying that Selena and Yolanda were alleged lovers. And sometimes you can't stop the heart from wanting who and what the heart wants. And in this particular case, Selena wanted or was with someone who I think became jealous of her, like you said, and knocked her off. And that's really, really sad. I don't know, Armand, I know I'm new to LA, but people in LA love Selena. If you go to Koreatown, they still sell her pictures, her t-shirts, everything about her. I don't know exactly if this docuseries is going to change the public's perception of Yolanda. So if that was the purpose for her doing it, I think she can pack it up and go home. But if she's doing it so that she can have a better understanding for someone that we loved so much, Selena, then I'm here for it too. I'm definitely going to be watching.
She's been in prison for 30 years and she's eligible for parole in 2025. I'm going to say this, Al, about those rumors. As beautiful as Selena is, and yes, I am face shaming, of all the lesbians that Selena could have be up in her or on her or licking on her, why would you pick dusty ass, no chin having Yolanda of all the women that probably Selena could have gotten? And she was a liar. I'm not here for this. I really cannot stand Yolanda. I'm very sure. And Armand, like you too, I always say, you're the Yolanda to my Selena. Like, yeah. You don't want someone posing as someone that loves you and then gets close to you just to hurt you and stab the knife in you. Lady T said Selena didn't want that Oompa Loompa. That's what I'm saying.
Well, she didn't look like this now. If you're going to be fair, you got to look at her old picture when they were together. I did. She wasn't as unattractive as she is now. I know you don't like her, but she wasn't attractive.
She was dusty.
Yolanda was not cute. Come on, Al. Now you stop.
She was not. She doesn't look like she looks now.
Bad built. She was fat. She had about 40 necks, 10 chins. She was a mess.
She did not look like that back in the day, brother. 30 years ago, she did not look like that.
Al, it was giving Spanish Tasmanian devil.
I don't care, but you guys can't say she looked like she looked.
And what is up with these people when people die, all of a sudden people close to them want to make these women lesbians? It happened with Whitney Houston, now Selena. All these women are lesbians now. Like, this is just crazy.
So you're saying Whitney Houston didn't like women?
You know what? We got to go to break on that note because you ain't about to have us in no lawsuits with that estate. Keep it locked because coming up next, we have a whole week with Armand to get sued later on. We're playing a fun game of hit or miss, and you about to hit or miss our show. We'll be right back. We ain't doing that. Bye.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
How you been liking it, Dustin?
I love it here. I love sparring with you. I love talking trash with Claudia.
TGIF.
What y'all drinking on?
Buttery Chardonnay, my go-to when it comes to spilling this tea.
1942, baby. It's been a celebration all week.
Every weekday.
Yeah.
Are you going to have any left?
How about a big bottle, Al?
How big is it? All right, let's not be sexually harassing our co-host this early in the show. Not saying we won't. It just won't be this early.
On Fox Soul.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers. The sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Welcome back to TGIF. You're just joining us. We have our guest host, Armand Wiggins, with us, joining me and Al Reynolds. So get into this. Get up in here, whatever he says. Okay. Gayle King is receiving backlash on social media after she recently asked seven-time Grammy-nominated artist Victoria Monet about her identifying as bisexual. One person wrote, Gayle needs to interview Oprah and tell us about their lesbian relationship. Oh, wow. You know what? Y'all setting me up. Y'all are setting. I am not mature enough for this story. And another person added, I hate that they use her sexuality to acknowledge her recent accolades. But I love Victoria across the board, and I'm happy she's using her platform to provide a safe space for other queers. What are your thoughts on Victoria's sexuality being the topic of conversation rather than her accolades? Quick note, for those who don't know, Victoria is in a relationship with fitness trainer John Gaines, and they have a beautiful daughter together. Al, he's fine, too cute. They look good together.
They do. Look at the baby. First, I'm sorry?
What do you think?
So, I agree with whoever, what that one person said. For me, it's about themes. This is a woman that's been in the entertainment business for 10 years, trying to win a Grammy after writing and working with everybody, right? And she won, right? Three, wasn't it 3 last night? So for us to see, and I want to see the entire interview because I haven't seen the entire interview. Obviously, I'm just making this assessment from the clips. But for Gayle to just focus on her bisexuality was kind of disturbing for me. I would love for her to focus on it's a journey in this business. And sometimes it happens fast and sometimes it happens in the early beginning and sometimes it happens later on. And she's definitely an example of how you can have it all later. She's got a man, she's got a child, and now she has 3 Grammys. I would have liked to have heard about the journey and less about her sexuality.
Amazing. Maisha says, yes, Gail, talk about you and Oprah. Damn. Armand, do you think that's something? What do you think about this?
I just feel like at some point, a woman that's with a man that look like that and with a daughter, she ain't gay. And stop trying to make everything about queer, the first queer Black woman to win Grammys. Like, why? How did we get in it? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I just thought that was stupid. Like, and even if she was gay or bisexual, we don't need to talk about that because she's clearly with a man and she's got a baby. So I don't want to hear about her being bisexual because she's straight right now. So that was irrelevant and it made no sense. And I don't know why they brought the queer community in that in the first place. So I thought it was stupid.
That's why I always have a problem with leading with our sexuality. Let's lead with the talent. Let's lead with your character. Let's lead with who you are and let that be a sidebar if you want to talk about it. I don't think you should be leading with that by others leading with that and you yourself. Like, let's lead with your talent, and we should. She's talented. All right, in honor of Grammys, it's only right that we play a fun, fashionable game of hit or miss. All right, let's cue the music.
Let me see. Can't see.
First up, Grammy winner Coco Jones. Hit or miss? Al?
I give her a definite hit. I love that deep drop in her neckline, her shoulders, arms, breasts, skin is skin and face is beautiful. Love the color. Hit for me.
Armand?
Hit for me. I love the contrast with the dress and the skin and everything looks smooth like butter as they hit.
Favorite neckline. It's a hit. All right, next we have another Grammy winner, Victoria Monet. Hit or miss? Armand?
It's a miss for me. I'm bored with it. There's nothing to see there.
I'm going to say it's a miss for pictures. Claudia, you know it better than, well, you know it as a woman. Some things that you see in the room when you're putting it on looks good, but when you take that picture and it's posted, you say, what happened? I think that's what's happening here. And it's definitely probably the color as it relates to her skin.
I like the monochromatic look. I think she looks pretty. I'm going to give her a hit. All right, next we have Ice Spice. Hit or miss, Al?
I'm gonna do a miss on this, and I'm just gonna say I'm gonna do a miss. It did not hit for me at all.
Armand?
That is a complete miss. I understand she got a new wig and she's playing a homage to her Y2K kind of look for her album, and you know she was born in 2000. But Ice Spice never gets it right in the fashion department, so this is a complete miss for me, all the way around.
I agree. It's a big miss. And this lady has so much attention and such a machine behind her. You should not still be looking like this. You are a pretty girl. You can do a lot better. Next, we have Halle Bailey. Hit or miss? Armand?
I'm saying hit. It looks like Halle, you know, everything. She got that baby glow on her. So it looked like, you know, Halle is doing that. You know, she getting it in. She ain't no little girl no more. You can see it on her now. She got that glow. She got that. I'm getting beat. Okay, I like that. It's a hit for me.
Al?
I think the dress, it just looks washed out on her to me. The dress is beautiful by itself. I love her hair. I love her neckline. But this isn't like a real hit for me. I'm going to give her a miss.
I'll give it a baby hit. I think it's pretty. I definitely can't say miss because I think she still looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I think she looks pretty. All right, Babyface. Hit or miss? Al?
Well, you know, I really can't see a lot about it. I think I like the texture. I'm not sure about these chains, but you know what? Babyface is in his 60s, so what can he do wrong? And he's been to basically every Grammy since he's been in the business, so I'll give him a hit for just showing up.
Okay, Armand?
Can't go wrong with all black, so I'll give it a hit.
I'll give it a hit because it's so hard for a man. Like, you got to really do something outrageous to be a miss when you're a man. You don't have a lot of options. All right, Doja Cat, was she a hit or miss? Armand?
Doja Cat is always a miss for me. I feel like she tries too hard to be so edgy, be so different. And we've already seen this. I feel like Doja Cat wants to be Lady Gaga so bad, mixed with Katy Perry. It just never hits for me. So it's a miss completely.
Al?
I'm going to say definitely a miss. I see that this color must be in season, and I just want to see my stars be different than everybody else and wear a color that's different from everybody else. So definitely a miss.
1000% miss. You had your nipples showing, same color as the dress. It was giving cat nursing my kittens with the nipples out. I'm like, what are you doing here? Pretty girl, but all this weird shit you're doing lately, cutting up the eyebrows and the hair, you're a pretty girl and you're making yourself not look pretty, and I don't like it.
Did you say cat missing the kittens?
cat nursing. It's giving kitty titties.
Kitty titty!
Right. Before we go, we'd like to thank the Miss Black America pageant for providing us with their footage. And for more information or to register, go to MissBlackAmerica.com. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, Al Reynolds and Armand Wiggins, for joining us tonight. Armand will be with us all week. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Fox Soul Face Off. We'll be back here tomorrow. Bye, fellas. Bye, boys. Bye, soulmates.
Have a good night, soulmates.